And greetings and welcome to the QCast. This is season 5, episode 47. And real excited about my guest today because I consider him to be one of the really unique players in NCAA Division III. In that, a lot of times great players are identified as scorers. And the young man I have here today, I look at first as one of the best defenders in the country, but a guy who also does all kinds of damage on the offensive end. And that's Hakim Williams, 6'3 senior guard from Illinois Wesleyan. Hakim, first of all, thank you so much for coming on. Tell me what the Super Bowl plans are today for you and the guys.
Thank you for having me first off. And yeah, like I was telling you a little bit earlier, today is our big fella's birthday, Harrison. So for the Super Bowl, we just having a little watch party for him. Getting a bunch of wings ordered, a few little bacon chicken ranch wraps.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
Where,
that's
do
the
we
plan for
know?
that.
I don't know the Bloomington wing scene that well anymore, but like, do you know where are the wings from? Are they like from Schooners or somewhere else, or where are they from?
For Mugsy's,
Oh,
we get them from
Mugsy's.
Mugsy's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad to know that Mugsy's is still there, Hakeem. It was alive and well. It was a big part of my college days, and I'm glad to hear it's a big part of your college days.
Yeah.
And
It's been a routine for the past couple of years. So
and Super Bowl Sunday, we're recording this here, and I'm just trying to will the Bears back to this game somehow. Hakeem, a Round Lake high school kid, you've got to be a Bears fan, correct? Are you a Bears
yeah.
fan?
Yeah, and I grew up in the inner city, so like as I always been around that, like every Chicago team, as far as even football to baseball. So I support them all. Yeah,
We got it. Yeah, we got a quarterback. We got some pieces to build around.
yeah,
So fingers crossed.
promising. It's looking promising.
Beat the Packers finally. Well, Hakeem, thank you so much for doing this. And I know that you guys are busy today. Happy birthday to Harrison Williamson. That's
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
We're recording this on Harry's birthday. Also, just thanks, Hakeem. It's real easy for kids to come on here after 5 wins in a row, and you're joining me today after the toughest week of the season. And I can't thank you enough for being willing to do this. And you know, let's just talk about the week in general first. Is you lose at North Central, you lose at Carthage, two really tough losses. Tell me how you're doing. How's the team doing?
I mean, obviously it sucks those losses. But those teams would just had our number that day. They were the better team. So, kudos to them. Hats off to them. But end of the day, we just know every dog have his day. So, not to dwell on it too much. We still who we see ourselves to be. So just stay focused and keeping the main thing the main thing. I think that's the big thing about it.
Yeah, I think sitting here 18-4, all that's changed in the last week here is winning the conference has gotten significantly tougher. Maybe the bracket in the NCAA has gotten tougher for sure, but I think all the goals that you guys set out for yourselves are still in front of you,
Yeah, exactly.
especially those that have to do with the NCAA tournament. And so I'm excited about the fact there's a lot of basketball. There's a lot of big games to play. The game yesterday, I was watching it there on Marquee Sports Network, which is kind of unique. I'm watching the Titans play on my direct TV, which was wild. Um, Seemed like a game where we were always like a play away on both ends of the floor from getting right there, from taking a lead and maybe starting to do some damage. But to Carthage's credit, Hakeem, did they knock down some very difficult shots consistently in that second
Yeah.
half to keep the lead. Like, talk about some of the plays that they made in that game yesterday.
Yeah, just big plays, honestly. Like Siegel hitting the three at late shot clock. That's a
Yeah,
big play. Or AJ Johnson hitting the corner three, big play. Or Brooks, the little escape dribble three hit towards the end of the shot clock. Those are all big plays. So, like, and those, like, for another team, if you're on the other end of that, that's kind of like a demoralizing. Like, we playing
right.
great defense for 28 seconds, 29 seconds, and the last second of the shot clock, they get a shot off and it goes in. So that's kind of demoralizing. But I mean, they're a great team. They're a great offensive team. So you just gotta roll with the punches and take it on the chin, I would say.
The Brooks kid, Riley Brooks, he's been a huge addition for them, and I know that you've had a chance to go up against him. He's a uniquely skilled shooter and scorer. Boy, he really can get his shot off. Again, like you've been on him for huge stretches of time. Talk a little bit about like Riley Brooks and the couple games that he's had against us this year.
Yeah, obviously he's played well against us. But he can really shoot the ball, so that it kind of creates a tough matchup as far as like he can shoot it off the catch. He can shoot it off the dribble. So it was kind of more so the first half I was just like allowing him to get to his spots too well. And second half I kind of just tried to um be more physical, have more of a like presence on him, not like let him just roam free. So I was kind of more like denying him like to get to his spots. But with a good player, he's gonna make tough shots. Obviously. So like one of the shots he made on me, like he was like he lost the ball like going like
Right,
baseline side and like picked it up and shot it
right.
like off 1 foot and it went in. So like good players are gonna make shots, tough shots. So yeah, kudos to him. He's a great player. I think he'll be really good in this league going forward.
Yeah, he has really been good against us in particular, and he's a really good, talented player.
Yeah.
Um, 18-4, 10-3. It's been a great season, and you think about you look at the top 25 poll, and you guys had that dominating win over Platteville, the game against WashU. Cal Lutherans had a big season, winning at Chicago. They won at Brandeis today. Um, it's really been a special season, Hakim. And as you look at some of these big wins, you guys have to be pretty proud of kind of the effort that you guys have put in, night out this season. Talk a little bit about the kind of the season as a whole.
Uh Yeah, it's always great to be on the other side of those games coming out with the wins. Because we know how it could be to be on the other side. Also, uh my junior year, we was in a bunch of close games or was
Right.
right there, like just couldn't get over the hump. So I guess just learning from those experiences made this year like made us like appreciate it more. Like learning like the first game is as big as the last game. So the focus for early on in the season on the Sigma tournament was we knew we had a bunch of great teams coming. And everybody was we was all returning and we all knew like we were good, but we was like this is like kind of the scale to kind of see how good we can be. So whenever the first couple games happen, it was good to kind of see like we are who we think we are, and we kind of proved that to people. So that was kind of nice. And then as the season goes on, you get to go on the trips like to Dallas. So we got to come out and spend some time with you there. So that was kind of nice. Yeah, the year just been it's been it's been super fun. Had a little ups and downs, but it's only gonna make us better at the end of the day. So yeah,
When you look at the week ahead here, so you don't have a Wednesday game. So Saturday's Milliken at home,
yeah,
and that's a very special night every year. That's senior night,
yes,
right? So
sir.
we're going to celebrate the six seniors. So you, Trey Bazell, Shane Miller, Nick Roper, Harrison Williamson, and Marco Anderson. What a group this has been. Um, I know how close you guys are. I've talked to a lot of people about that. It's amazing how many people will say like Q, you don't understand how close these guys are. Talk about kind of the friendships that you have with that group of seniors.
Um, Man, this is a group of guys who are gonna be at my wedding. These are my best friends. Like our bond is crazy. I would say because we all like so different. We all got like different characteristics about us, but like we all just like match together so well. Um, like I spend every day with these guys for probably the last 4 years. Only time I probably was not seeing them was like over the summer. And then even then over the summer I would be seeing them sometimes like around or like camps and then we would do trips and stuff like that. So like it's I don't think it's been like a stretch for these past 4 years where we haven't been together for like over more than like a month and a half or
Right.
like so like that is a testament to our bond. But like we are a tight knitted group, super close. So I think that just kind of helped us with basketball in general too. Because we are so close. we can talk and have those hard conversations with each other if need be. And we know it's not personal. So yeah, those are
When you
my best friends, man. Those my brothers, gonna be my brothers for the rest of my life. So yeah.
when you think about the game itself Saturday and all the emotion around it, and the Shirk Center crowd, everyone there to celebrate you guys, but yet you've got this huge game against Milliken to go find a way to win in order to kind of stay in the conference race and the NCAA race. How do you balance sort of the emotion of senior night with the need to get the job done against the Big Blue?
Um, we have our ceremony at the beginning. We sit in that for a little bit and then we flush it and it's game time. You just got to flush that out because we can celebrate after. We just got to take care of business. We know that um, obviously with the drop to Carthage, playing Milliken is going to be tough. They're a super tough team, so just come out focus,
Yeah.
handle business, and then we can celebrate. So
Good,
that's the
good point.
plan.
It was a tough game. The game indicator was a tough game. It was
Yeah,
close for a long, long time. They're a very talented team. They'll
yeah,
want to win that game as much as you guys do.
exactly.
Um, Talk to me a little bit about physical conditioning, Hakim, because I mean, you're in incredible shape in terms of what you've done with your body in the weight room and just cardio and the way you're able to defend people based on that, and then offensively the way you're able to get yourself in the paint, and if you get yourself down there against the average guard in Division 3, he can't handle you down there. How did you go about attacking physical conditioning, say from when you were a freshman to now? Because there's a lot of hoopers that would probably like to understand how you've gone about this.
I would say just my older guys, they were kind of helping me, I would say. Like coming in my freshman year and just kind of seeing how Pete and Yoder would kind of prep for or prepare themselves for games or just how they go about handling their business. It kind of helped me. Um, like I will always have like just random talks with Corey Noah and he'll be like, you don't always gotta like come in here and go put in a crazy amount of hours. Just come in here and mess around every day. Uh, just make sure you're doing something active. So that kind of helped with the basketball part of it. And as far as like the conditioning and lifting and stuff like that, I always had like a kind of a natural physique, like muscular physique. So that wasn't kind of hard for me. Um, the weights just kind of came natural, just lifting them. That was natural for me. But as far as like conditioning, that would probably been the toughest part. Just battling injuries. Like I had a foot injury my sophomore year.
Right.
Then I tore my meniscus my junior year. So with that, I would say just kind of like not settling for, all right, I'm hurt. I got to take some time off. I can't condition. I was just finding different ways. Kudos to Coach Rose. He gave me like a bike workout to do, and that's kind of helped me. He's like Dennis Rodman rides up, used to ride the bike all the time after his games. So like ain't no reason you can't do it. So like the bike conditioning definitely helped a lot. So I would ride the bike a ton whenever I was like injured, like my foot injury, for instance, like I couldn't put a lot of weight on it. So I would just be riding the bike a ton. Um, and then when I was able to finally get back to run and cutting and doing all the basketball stuff, just after a workout, I would just do like a deep six or like two deep sixes or something just to make sure I get my lungs opened up or like a 17. So just kind of like
Sure.
implementing like just running it. I know it sucks. It sucks. I hate conditioning, but like you just got to implement it into like your workouts and it kind of take care of itself from there.
I want to also ask you about defending. You've really become known last year and now this year, especially as a lockdown defender. The list is long of guys that like all American type guys that you've had to guard this year and really done a great job with. I think of like Hayden Doyle, for example. You just made it so hard on him to do his thing. And I thought that was maybe the biggest part of that win against WashU. Um, have you always been a defensive minded kid, or is that developed over the course of time? Talk about just like embracing defense.
Um, Yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of always had a little bit of it, but like not to the point where like when I got here, it really got pulled out of me. My first year here, Coach Rose used to always say like, I should notice you like every play. Like I should notice whenever you on the court. Like you can do stuff like just people can't do. So he was like, if I don't notice you, that means you're not trying hard enough or you're not playing hard. He used to always tell me like you're just not playing hard enough right now. And I never understood it until like I just kind of just start watching Pete and how he just like went about like matchups or just like his focus into it. Um, and I kind of seen like, all right, I kind of turned up a notch. And then in our green and white scrimmage my sophomore year, uh, our GA at the time, JB, he um he used to just always tell me like you can be like you could possibly even be a better defender than Pete. And me hearing that from my freshman year was kind of crazy because like I'm watching him, like I'm looking up to him, like this is my big brother at this point. Like you saying I could do better than him if I dedicate myself. So that's just kind of where that came from. Just kind of competing, um, wanting to be a better version of Pete. So that's kind of where the defensive mindset came from.
Sure.
Uh, and then yeah, Coach Rose kind of pushed that. Like he's always seen it, and he's kind of pushed that, and the coaching staff has always kind of pushed that. So once I kind of bought into it, it was the rest is history from there.
It's a great comparison. I do think so many similarities between Pete Lambisis's game and yours now. Really similar players in a lot of ways, and what a great guy to kind of pattern yourself off of. Also wanted to ask you, Hakeem, about picking IW because I remember when you were getting recruited and how big a deal that was that this kid's visiting, and most people thought that you'd end up, quote, higher. What led you to picking Illinois Wesleyan? Who else was in the conversation there at the end? And just talk about like what the decision was at the end.
I was talking to a couple mid-major schools, but my first conversation with uh the coaching staff here at IWU, I talked with Coach E and he called me. He's like, "Yeah, I know you kind of getting recruited by some scholarship schools, but we don't care." He's like, we go at the guys we want, and he was telling me about Ryan Soroka because he had like a little I think he had a preferred walk-on offer somewhere,
And
and then he was just
a
telling me
bunch of
how like.
D2s. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just telling me like we go at the guys who we want. So like and we think it would be a great fit here. So like when he called me with that confidence, it just was like I felt like the swagger from him. So I was like, all right, I'm kind of that just spoke like rose my interest into it. And then I started getting recruited by I had like a couple D2s, it was pretty much everybody. A couple conference schools was recruiting me. But when I came on my visit here, I think what separated it was like I saw how close the team was. Like it wasn't freshmen with the freshmen or seniors with the seniors. It was everybody just was one. So that was kind of rose that was a big thing for me because I wanted to come into like a brotherhood. Um, Everybody treated each other like family here on my visit. And then we started playing basketball and it was like, all right, these dudes can hoop. Like it's no everybody here could hoop. Like Corey No on my visit, he looked like he was like an NBA prospect. Like how he was making over Jim was crazy. Like I was, all right, these guys could hoop. So it was kind of the best of both worlds. So I was like, it's like good for basketball, and then obviously academics here at Wesleyan is top tier. And I was talking to my mom about it. She was like, "All right, take the division out of it. Do you see yourself here for 4 years?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." She was like, and then she told me she was like, "I like the school." So like once she get to go ahead with that, so it was
Once
green
mom's
light from
in,
there.
it's yeah. Once the mom's sold, Hakeem,
Yeah,
that's a good thing for a person doing the recruiting.
exactly.
What advice would you give? There's high school kids right now. Here we are in February that are close to having to make a decision. They're getting recruited for hoops, and they're getting like you. They're getting recruited by D2 and D3, maybe even D1 a little bit. I'm not talking about like steering kids to IW here, Hakeem, but
Right.
any advice you would give kids in trying to navigate this decision they're trying to make, and like what should be important to them in making that decision?
I would say first off, go where you want it, not where you want to go. Just go where you feel like you will be able to grow as a person first and foremost, but on the court as well. And then don't rush the process. Just kind of fill it out. Um, keep 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 talking to your parents. Like I talk to my mom about every visit, every recruiting thing I had, because they're gonna give you the hard truth about everything. But I think the most important thing is just go where you want it, and not where you think you want to be at, because
Right.
ultimately that's not it doesn't work out like that all the time. And then you don't want to be transferring schools and like that. But yeah, that's the message I would give is go where you are like wanted at. And like that if a school is seeking you or not or like constantly trying to keep connecting and not it's not always just about basketball whenever the coach is contacting you, then that's what I would say.
It's great
It's probably
advice. I love
great for your
asking
career.
student athletes that because it's very relevant right now and every time of the year that's relevant. So it's great to hear from someone that's been there like you. Just a couple more things, Hakeem, and thanks so much for your time here on Super Bowl Sunday. You're averaging 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, filling up the stat sheet. You're an incredible defender. The stretch run here is Milliken at home, North Park at home,
Yeah.
and at Augie. And how do you guys keep yourselves one game at a time at this point? I know after dropping a couple games, there's probably this feeling like you got to make up two it all of a sudden. But how do you keep yourself locked in to one game at a time here?
Like I was saying earlier about our conference, or we know it's tough. No matter what the team, no matter what the record says, we know they're gonna come out and give us the best shot. So just I think you have to take it one game at a time. Or if you get too caught up or too far ahead, then the team that you not paying so much attention to is gonna come out and punch you in the mouth. So can't that I think the CCIW just kind of forces you to take it one game at a time. Um, so that's keeping the main thing. Like I keep saying, one game at a time. We trying to get to where we need to be, and we only can do that one game at a time. So yeah.
A couple more questions for, and then we'll let you go. I want to ask you about something really special that you and your teammates do, and the Titans before you, and that's the relationship that you guys have with Jason Alsene. There
Oh
was a
yeah.
really nice article written about this recently, and I've gotten a chance to witness it up close with your class, with guys before you, and just can you just talk a little bit about like what does Jason mean to you and the Titans and the role that he kind of plays as our biggest fan?
I tell everybody this, man. Jason is like he's like our big brother. He's our brother. He's family, the family like we would you would want to have. Like he's at every game. Like I don't think it's been a game that Jason's missed since I've been here. But yeah, it's great to have him here. In my freshman year, and then just growing with him like my freshman year, like I will always be on the end of the bench with him, just working out like the scores, like he does his own like little
Right.
score tally. So like I will always keep help him keep track of the scores. And then my sophomore year, I started playing more, and he started coming up to me like, "All right, so who's gonna be at the end of the bench with me now? Like who's gonna take over now?" But yeah, it's nice having that brotherhood with him. We go to support him like he tries to, well, like he does for us. We try to make as many of his basketball games as that's here in town as possible. And even over the summers, like when I was staying here over the summers, I would always just try to like go to some of his like softball games because that means the world to Jason. So like
Yeah.
I want to just try to kind of repay that favor that he does for us. So yeah, Jason is everyone loves him, man. We kind of like every time the freshmen we welcome the freshmen in, and then we kind of like tell them like, all right, this is Jason. All right, and we this is how we go about things with Jason. He's a super fan. Like he's gonna want to talk to you daily. Like I talk to him like every Monday at 8 o'clock. I got a set schedule with Jason. Every Monday at 8, I know he's calling. Um, He's talking about what I need to do for the next games coming up. I need to make more shots, or I need to be more aggressive. Um, but yeah, that's just Jason, man. We love him to death.
Well, kudos to you guys. I know how much that means to Ben and Tammy, and I know how much it means to Coach Rose and staff, and so it's great what you guys do. It's really uplifting. Uh, and then final question, you came up a little short in my back driveway in the free throw
Ah.
challenge. And now the big fella whose birthday it is today, 6'10", 240 kid, he
Yep.
won that thing. Did that surprise you that the big man came away with that title? Hakeem, talk a
Not at all. Not at all. He's Harrison has one of the prettiest jumpers I've ever seen. So like it didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, there were some upsets. The Fridman kid, this kid's like a 92% free throw shooter. He got beat by Coach Levin. I saw
Ah.
it. Like he got smoked, Hakeem. Did that surprise you? It had to surprise you, right?
Yeah, all right. That was a surprise. That one. He
Another upset that I thought, because I built the bracket and I'm thinking, like, how do I get a win and get into round two? So, I put myself against Coach Rose. I thought I'd just go back there and kind of sleepwalk through it. And he came out, he punched me in the mouth. You talked about that, right? Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Coach Rose
Yeah.
made 5 of 5. Did it
Oh
surprise you
man.
that Coach Rose made 5 of 5 at all, Hakeem?
That definitely surprised me. I never see him shoot like during practice or anything. He always, I mean, he handles the ball like plays around like throwing passes because he's a point guard, but I never really see him shoot. So I that was a surprise to me too.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like I got to make 5 just to get to OT. And I make the first and I miss the second and it's all over. And I didn't
Man,
know what hit me. So,
I
uh,
think I think like when we was there, I think like our like the first couple of rounds, like our whole coaching staff went like 5 for 5.
I think no one missed. Right.
Yeah.
Now, it is a little bit of a forgiving rim in my driveway.
Yeah,
It's a
for sure.
soft rim, isn't it?
For sure.
Well,
Definitely.
folks, we've been talking to Hakeem Williams, who's a 6'3" senior guard for Illinois Wesleyan. Titans are 18-4. They've had a rough last 2 games. They got a whole bunch of season in front of them. Hakeem, you've been just a pleasure to watch, and I can't wait to watch how this unfolds. I'm trying like heck to get up to senior night, and I plan to make it up there Saturday because both the men and the women have such special groups of seniors here that I would love to see all of you guys in person. You have been just awesome. You're a warrior. You're just a true Titan. And I want to give you the last word, Hakeem. So you're going to have some Titan fans tuning in, some D3 fans, some folks from Round Lake. You're going to have family tuning in. What would you leave everyone with today on the QCast, Hakeem?
Um, I would say just stick with us. I know this past week been tough, but we're gonna get this thing figured out, and we're gonna make a very, very big run going into this tournament or the postseason here. So yeah, just stick with us.
Well, I guarantee you, no one's jumping off the ship, Hakeem. So you guys are a special group. That was true a week ago. It's true today, and it's
So
going to be a real fun finish to the season. Folks, that's Hakeem Williams, who is a senior for Illinois Wesleyan. Hakeem, you go enjoy that Super Bowl party with the Mugsy's Wings. You tell the boys that I said hello, and I look forward to hopefully seeing them up there Saturday. Okay.
yes, sir, I got you.
Thanks, Hakeem.